What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1993 movie Hocus Pocus. The movie is directed by Kenny Ortega and written by Mick Garris and Noel Cuthbert. And in this movie, three witches who were killed, they were hanged, well, I think it was 300 years ago, get brought back to life when a teenage boy and his sister go into their old cabin and lights a fire that brings them back to life. So it's up to the boy and his sister and a cat named Binks, who was cursed by the witches, to help to stop them from taking all of the kids in town and using them to stay alive. This is a classic. I think most people who grew up in the 90s and stuff have probably seen this movie a million times. It's one that's played all the time on cable during the month of October. It's like a Halloween classic. I actually didn't see this movie till it was on Disney Channel. And everything. So when I very first saw it and stuff, I thought that it was a TV movie meant for Disney Channel, but I didn't know that it was actually released in theaters until quite a few years later. But I really enjoy this movie quite a bit. I think that the cast in here is really what makes this movie work so well. Everybody fits their roles perfectly. Omri Katz is Max, and he is really likable, and he does a really good job playing the character. And his little sister is played by Thora Birch. I think this might have been her first movie. If it's not, it was one of her first movies, and she's really good in here. And the two of them really work off each other really well. It's believable that they're brother and sister, and they both do a really good job in this movie. Vanessa Shaw plays Allison, who is Max's love interest, and she's a really likable character too. I used to have a huge crush on her when I was a kid, but I think she's really good in here too. And Jason Marsden, who's known for voicing Max's son Goofy in the Goofy movie, and I think he voiced Kovu in The Lion King too, and he's done voices in a bunch of animated stuff for Disney. Does the voice of Binks, and he's really good. When he's in his human form, he's played by somebody else, but when he's a cat, he's voiced by Jason Marsden, and he does a really good job. Although he tries to have a British accent, and half the time it works, and half the time it's not there. But with this movie being the way it is, it doesn't really bother me too awful bad. And then the three witches, which are kind of the highlights of the movie, played by Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, and they're all really good in here. They're funny. They work really good together, and even though they're villains and stuff, they're also kind of likable too. Especially Sarah and Mary. Sarah's kind of like this dim-witted, dumb blonde character, and she's really good in here, and I think Sarah Jessica Parker does a really good job playing her. And Mary is kind of idiotic too, but she's really kind of likable, and she's not really intimidating. The only one that's kind of intimidating out of the three is Winifred, played by Bette Midler. I think she does a standout job too. She's like the standout star of the movie, but all three of them are really good in this movie, and they all fit their roles really well. The production design and stuff in this movie is done really well too, and like the cinematography is really good, and John Debney did the score for the movie, and he did a really good job with the score. fits the tone of the movie perfectly. And I think Kenny Ortega did a really good job directing it too. It's one of my favorite movies that he's directed. I've liked most of the stuff I've seen of his, but this one definitely ranks up there as one of my favorites. This one, along with the High School Musical movies. But all in all, I think Hocus Pocus is a lot of fun. It's got a great story, great cast, good production value, and it's just a really fun movie. It's one that I if I don't watch it every Halloween, I at least watch it every other Halloween. And it's a Halloween classic. It's not like the best movie ever made or anything, but it is a fun movie, and it's one that I know some people probably would say is overrated, and I can understand why, I guess, but it's one that I've loved ever since I was a kid. So at the same time, I wouldn't say that I personally think it's overrated, because I think it's a really fun movie. But I'd give Hocus Pocus an 8 out of 10. It's like I said, it's a really fun movie. It's definitely worth watching. If you haven't seen it, I'd definitely check it out. But it's always best to watch it like during the fall, like close to Halloween time. This is like the best time of year to watch it. The closer to Halloween, the better. But I definitely would recommend it if you haven't seen it. But anyway, that's my review for Hocus Pocus. It's for day 22 of 31 Days of Horror. I'm a little bit behind. I'm hoping to still be able to do my day 23 tonight, which is going to be for Friday night. I'm going to hopefully watch that here in just a little bit after I eat my dinner. But I'm looking forward to Friday night, because that's one I've never seen before that everyone has told me about, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Hocus Pocus. And also, do you think it needs a sequel? That's something that's been debated for many, many years. I know a lot of people want a sequel to Hocus Pocus. They're dying for a sequel. And I think there's supposedly going to be one for Disney Plus. I'll believe it when I see it, because that's been in the talks for many, many years. But if it does happen, do you want it to happen? What would you like to see happen in it? Personally, I think they should just leave it alone. Hocus Pocus, to me, the story ended with the end of this movie. I don't see really what they could do with it, but I'm willing to give it a shot. But let me know in the comments what you think of that too, if you think there should be a sequel or not. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.